Start in the name of Allah, who is merciful and most beneficent. Assalamu alaikum, dear students. Today we are going to discuss the Puritan Age or the Age of Milton. This age is starting from 1600 and the era is going till 1660. So, the literature of the 17th century may be divided into two periods, the Puritan Age or the Age of Milton, which is further divided into the Jacobin and Caroline periods after the names of the ruled James I and Charles I, who rules from 1603 to 1625 and 1625 to 1649 respectively, and the Restoration period or the Age of Dryden, which is starting from 1660 and going till 1700. So this is the 17th century literature is divided into two parts. Number one, the Puritan Age, and number second is Restoration period. So, dear students, in today's lecture, we'll discuss that how Milton was the noblest representative of the Puritan spirit. He was the great Renaissance, and we have to see the other further achievements. So, first of all, we'll discuss Puritan poetry. The Puritan poetry, also called the Jacobin and the Caroline poetry, during the reign of James I and Charles I respectively. So it can be divided into three parts: poetry of the school of Spenser, poets of metaphysical schools, poetry of the Chevalier poets. So as you know that we have earlier discussed these all things in our physical lectures. So we are moving towards John Milton. Yes, John Milton, basically his era is starting from 1608 and going till 1674. So before going with the Milton, I would like to discuss the important thing of this era, that theatres were closed in 1642 and theatres were reopened in 1660. Now the 18 years era when the theatres were closed, there was not any sort of activity in theatre. So Milton was the greatest poet of the Puritan age, and he stands head and shoulders above all his contemporaries. Though he completely identified himself with Puritanism, he possessed such a strong personality that he cannot be taken to represent at any one but himself. So Milton praised Spenser, Shakespeare, and Ben Jonson as poet. He was different from them well. We did not find the other things in his poetry. Unlike Shakespeare, Milton is superbly egoistic. So Milton's early poetry is lyrical. The important poems of the early period are the Hymn on the Nativity, 1629. And Lycidas is a elegy, and it is the greatest of its type in English literature. It was written to mourn the death of the Milton's friend Edward King. So the subject matter of the other poems are also there, but the important poet is Paradise Lost, consisting of the casting out from the heaven of the fallen angels, their planning of revenge in hell, Satan's flight, man's temptation and fall from grace, and the promise of redemption against the vast background of Milton projects. Paradise Lost is called the last great Elizabethan poem, but its perfectly organized design, its firm outline, and Latinicized diction make it essentially a product of the new classical or the Augustan period in English literature. In Paradise Lost, the most prominent is the figure of Satan, who possesses the qualities of Milton himself and who represents the indomitable heroism of Puritans against Charles I. So we are here some important verses. What though the field be lost, all is not lost, the unconquerable will, and the study of revenge, immortal hate, and courage never to submit or yield, and what is else not to be overcome. As well as Paradise Lost is concerned, it is written in blank verse of the Elizabethan dramatist. So other poets, Jacobin and Caroline drama are also there. Uh, so after the Shakespeare, the drama in England suffered and declining during the reign of James I and Charles I. The heights reached by Shakespeare could not be kept by later dramatists, and drama in the hands of fetchers and others became what we may call decadent. In other words, the real spirit of Elizabethan drama disappeared. So the last one is Jacobin and Caroline prose. This period was rich in prose. The great prose writers were Bacon, Burton, Milton, Sir Thomas Browne, Jeremy Taylor, and the others poets are also there. So, for the first time, the great scholars began to write in English rather than Latin. The greatest single influence which enriched of the English prose was the authorized version of Bible, translation of the Bible, which was the result of the efforts of scholars who wrote in a forceful, simple, pure Anglo-Saxon tongue, avoiding all that was rough, foreign, and affected. So, first of all, we'll discuss here in prose Francis Bacon. The era starting from 1561 and going till 1628. Bacon belongs both to the Elizabethan and Jacobin periods. He was a lawyer possessing great intellectual gifts. Ben Jonson wrote of him, "No man ever cocked or turned aside him without a loss." So, Bacon is best known for his essay in which he has given his views about the art of managing men and getting on his successfully in life. So, beside the essay, Bacon wrote Henry VII, the first piece of scientific history in English language, and the advancement of learning, which is brilliant popular exposition of the cause of scientific investigation. So the next one is Robert Burton. So is known for his The Anatomy of Melancholy, which is a book of its own type in the English language. So the last one is Thomas Browne, belong entirely to a different category. With him, the manners of writing is more important than the substance. He is therefore the first deliberate stylist in English language, the forerunner of Charles Lamb and the Stevenson. Being a physician with a flair for writing, he wrote Religio Medici, in which he set down his beliefs and thoughts, the religion of the medical man. So other writers of these periods who were like Browne, the master of the rhetorical prose, were Milton, Jeremy Taylor, and the other also poets are also there. So most of the Milton prose writings are concerned with the question at issue between the parliament and the king. So opposed to Milton, the greatest writer in the parliamentary struggle was the Earl of the Celandron, 1609 to 1674. So thus during this period we find English prose developing into a very rich instrument capable of the expressing all types of ideas, scientific, religious, and poetic and personal. So with this we have come to an end. Inshallah, we'll see you with the very next lecture. Take care.